In a quiet village where the stars whispered and clocks held their breath, a girl who remembered too much met a boy who had forgotten everything. What began as coincidence unraveled into a love story caught between time, fate, and the sky. The village of Kihara had no streetlights, no signals, and no rush. But it did have stories about spirits, lost time, and most famously, the clock tower at the center. Its rusted hands pointed to 11:59 and hadn't moved in over 100 years. They said when it ticks again, someone's destiny will be rewritten. Hoshi, 17, lived in a house beside that tower. Her father was the old clock keeper, now bedridden, who spent his life waiting for a moment that never came. Hoshi wasn't like the other kids. While they laughed and played, she sketched stars, followed shadows, and talked to people no one else remembered. She was strange. Even her teachers whispered about her, but Hoshi didn't mind. Every evening, she sat by the tower and looked up at the stars. Something about them felt wrong lately. It was during a storm that everything changed. While returning from the hillside, Hoshi heard an eerie groaning from the clock tower, like metal breathing. Curious, she entered the place she'd been forbidden to go. Inside, beneath the unmoving gears, lay a boy, soaking wet, clothes unlike anything she'd seen, silver hair, and on his wrist, a glowing bracelet with one word etched in glass, Cairo. He coughed, blinked, looked at her like she was a dream he forgot. Cairo was a mystery, but gentle. His speech was a little strange, like he hadn't spoken in years. He didn't remember where he was from or how he got there. But he remembered stars and music. Hoshi let him stay in their spare room. Her father, half lost in memory, looked at Cairo and said only one thing: it begins again. Each day, Cairo and Hoshi explored the village. He helped her tune her broken music boxes, repaint street signs, watch the sunset over the valley. The two grew close, comfortable, in sync, like they were meant to find each other. But every night, Cairo had dreams of a tower burning, of stars crashing, of Hoshi calling his name while disappearing into light. And Hoshi began remembering things, too. The truth came in fragments drawn in Hoshi's sketchbook. She realized she had drawn Cairo years before she ever met him, realized she had lived these moments before, that the villagers repeated conversations, that flowers bloomed too early, that the sky reset itself every 9 days. This wasn't life. It was a loop. Cairo found the truth buried deep inside the tower, a hidden mechanism behind the gears, a star core. It projected a vision, a collapsing universe, a broken timeline. A guardian who turned back the clock to save a girl he loved and locked them both in a frozen world to protect her. He was that guardian. Every time the clock ticks, the world resets, and I lose more of myself. This was their 9th loop. If they didn't stop it, the timeline would collapse entirely. Not everything in the village was as peaceful as it seemed. Strange cracks began appearing in the walls of houses. The sky flickered like a broken TV. Children laughed about the same dream every night. And then someone else spoke. A blind old woman approached Cairo and whispered, "I've seen your face before. Every time the stars cry, you come, and every time she forgets." Cairo realized fragments of memories leaked into the villagers too, but their minds couldn't bear it. Worse, shadows began appearing. People who weren't people. Their eyes glowed red. They whispered, "Correct the timeline," and tried to drag Cairo away. These were time enforcers, echoes of the collapsing reality, trying to erase Cairo and reset fate permanently. The star core inside the tower began to glow, reacting to Cairo's presence. If they activated at exactly midnight, the loop would break. The world would move forward. The villagers would live real lives again. But the cost was devastating. Hoshi would lose every memory of Cairo. To her, he'd become a stranger who never existed. And Cairo, his body fading, was nearing the end of his soul's limit. He had looped 9 times. 10 would be final. Their last hour together was silent. They walked the village, touched the old stone bridge where Hoshi once drew stars on his palm, sat under the tree where he taught her the names of constellations. She cried, begged him not to go. Dialogue. Hoshi, I'll find you again. Even if I forget, even if my soul resets, I'll find you. Cairo smiling, I never stop finding you. Across stars, but cross time. We climbed the tower together. The core hummed. 11:59. Cairo placed his hand on the core. Goodbye, Hoshi. 12 o'clock. The clock ticked. The bell rang 12 times. The loop shattered, and Cairo disappeared. Morning came like a soft breath. The sky felt different, the air alive. The villagers moved on, unaware that anything had ever been strange. The cracks vanished, the shadows gone. Flowers bloomed in their season, and Hoshi stood alone at the tower, sketchbook in hand. She didn't remember Cairo, but every day she returned to draw the sky, to wait for something she couldn't name, to love someone she never met. One day, as she sketched under the stars, she whispered, "Thank you, whoever you are." A single star twinkled extra bright that night, and somewhere beyond time, Cairo smiled. Thank you for listening the full story. If you like the story, then like, share the video, and subscribe the channel. For more content like this, stay tuned.